This past weekend, I once again visited the Wild Rose Antique Collectors Society show, so the annual spring show. And it was a lot of fun. Not a lot of miniatures, but some really exquisite ones. So this year they moved their venue to the Northeast River Valley Park venue on 903 153rd Avenue. And the place was just absolutely huge and packed and not air conditioned. Unfortunately, it was really super warm in here. But that didn't stop the people from showing up in droves. So there was everything, as you can see, from a lot of kitchenware and knickknacks and antique books and all kinds of stuff. So for those of you that watch in the UK, even though it's an antique show, some of these items were definitely what we would classify as vintage and not antique, but there was a fair amount of really super cool stuff. So this lady had some miniature items. You can see the little piano there, and there was a lot of jewelry items, and the stuff that I always like the best is in these little cases. So this lady formerly owned a company called Grandma's Brooch, and she also sold a lot of miniatures at her store, and she didn't disappoint this time round either. So there was a fair amount of stuff that could be used in a dollhouse setting, and I'll specify that in a couple of minutes here. So she had quite a lot of sterling silver jewelry and quite a lot of beautiful framed portraits and photographs that could be used on dollhouse walls, and you name it. I love her jewelry. I wished I had a pile of money, because I certainly would have been buying some jewelry. Look at those beautiful, beautiful little portrait miniature brooches. Perfect for a dollhouse wall. I mean, I just love them. Look how gorgeous they are. And some of them were real sterling silver, others were costume jewelry, but still like a really nice, huge selection. And then, of course, here is all of the vintage and antique rings that she brought along with her, and just absolutely beautiful, beautiful. So, I really enjoy the selection of stuff that she brings every year. If you remember, I actually did get a made in Japan doll from her. So in the top left hand corner there, that's a sterling silver 1/12 scale punch bowl set, and it was only $95. And those chairs, both of them, they're both sterling silver little chairs in 1/24 scale, and they were gorgeous. And you can see the doll top right, the second one in. That's a made in Japan little miniature doll. And then here she's showing me a little game, and it's all made out of hand carved ivory in miniature. Just absolutely beautiful. And it was nice. Some Lamage, what do you call it, tea service. And then this sterling silver settee. Beautiful. Look at how it's all hand engraved. I would have loved to have brought home that piece. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And then, of course, some pewter little chairs like the ones I've painted in previous videos. She had a couple of those as well. Those are actually name card holders for place settings. And you can see here there's just an array of every kind of tchotchke and item that you could possibly imagine. Just beautiful items. I love that fan chair. And just a little bit of everything. So I'm just going to kind of pan through it and show you some of the items and collectibles that were there. That old stick telephone, that's pretty cool, hey? And lots of cups and saucers, and just beautiful, beautiful selection of antique and vintage kitchenware and items that you could use in your dining room. Here's some of those Airy dolls. It's ARI dolls that I believe are made in Germany. I've got quite a collection of them. This one in particular, I have this exact doll at home. So really cute. They're the same dolls that I sent to my friend that owns the Doll Cupboard, which is another YouTube channel, and she just loves those little dolls. So I did send a couple her way. And look at this clock. Isn't that cute? Not miniature, but really cute. I just love it. And then this little case here in the background had quite a few little ceramic animals that would be perfect for a 1/12 scale dollhouse. And she also had a selection of other items in the top shelf, and I'll zoom in and show you. See the little airplane, and yeah, some of the stuff was really super cute. I had to get her to turn the little display around so you can see there's some little mud people, the little Japanese people that were hand painted. These are the two items that I liked in particular. The pot on the left-hand side, like it's a potty, I believe that was Janice Crowley's. So, yeah, I like red glass. Yeah, I got a thing for red glass. And then these little miniature items, although I'd be hard-pressed to call most of them miniature items. I mean, they're a little bit bigger than 1/12 scale, but probably would work well in a Barbie house. And this person had some beautiful little horses that could be used in 1/12 scale. And this one here was, I guess, devoted to items that a guy would probably have in a garage. So a lot of signs and stuff that you could hang up in your garage, or man cave, so to speak. And yeah, look at this lovely willow patterned dishes and all kinds of stuff. Some old country roses. That's the pattern by Royal Albert. That's the one my friend Anne collects. And yeah, just beautiful. And look at that Pepsi sign, that beautiful Pepsi sign. Really cool. And some A&W, which is a Canadian burger chain. Had some glasses from there. And once again, this one was full of all kinds of brooches and jewelry and all kinds of items. I was kind of on the lookout for trying to find some tin type photos that I can use as pictures in my dollhouse. However, I wasn't able to find any this year. So I don't know. I think it's one of those things you got to be there early to get the items that you really want. And I was more concerned with filming than anything else. So it's Dior, darling. That was the name of that booth. And you can see some of this stuff is really not vintage at all. So pretty, or sorry, not vintage, not vintage or antique. So yeah, and then there's all these little cars and toys and farm equipment, and again, more jewelry, bunch of thimbles. So yeah, I mean, it's just nice to go and just look. I didn't actually even buy anything at all at this show, but I just kind of like to show this because we have fewer and fewer antique stores here in Edmonton, like compared to 30 years ago. And a lot of the individuals that had booths here used to own antique stores at one time and no longer do. Oh, vintage Christmas stuff. Now, I love that. If you have vintage Christmas stuff in your attic, that's something you want to hold on to, because as time goes by, it gets more and more valuable, it seems like. Yeah, especially the glass ornaments. They're really hard to come by, and they're very, very expensive to buy new nowadays. So, um, yeah, so finding vintage ones at a good price is something that is very appealing for sure. This is such a huge show that it's hard to be able to cover each and everything that was there. And you can see here's some 148 scale dollhouse stuff, $8 a package. And she had one, two, three, four, and they're all different. So for $8 a package, that's probably a really good deal. And then she had this little bag here for $5 of she called it a dollhouse family, but obviously the little boy is an Airy doll. And she had the mother and father doll, and that would have gone to 1/16th scale, that little doll set. I believe the mother and father doll probably were for the Lumbee dollhouse. And then this lady had a few toys, and again, more jewelry. That was all pearl jewelry, and some vintage fishing garb. And yeah, a little bit of everything. So, and again, more jewelry. You can see here that this person had quite a few ornaments and just tons and tons and tons of tchotchke. That was really beautiful, that marble desk set. I don't know if that's antique or not, but that is really a lovely set. And yeah, all kinds of stuff. I really enjoy going and just kind of meandering around a place like this. We do have the Old Strathcona Antique Mall here, which has got, oh, I don't know, it must have at least 50 or 75 individual little booths inside. And that's kind of a fun place to go and look at items. And I love that necklace. It's like a hand painted bird of paradise. That was really pretty. But again, no money for shopping, just wanted to go and peek around. So, yeah, there's all kinds of beautiful, beautiful items here. And I don't know why, I just really am drawn to vintage jewelry. I really think it's like beautiful, although I don't wear it. I'm always attracted to look at it. So, yeah, some of the stuff is like really, really pretty. I was kind of, in a way, looking for a mustard spoon, like a really, really tiny salt spoon or mustard spoon that if you bend it, you can use it as a ladle in a dollhouse. I believe Deb from Dollhouse Dilemma actually did that in a previous video about a year ago. And I thought that would be a really clever thing to find a spoon like that. But I didn't really see any. Like, you can see one there in this film. Do you see right in the middle there? But it was bigger, like a lot bigger than what I would want. I wanted like a really tiny one, like Deb had. So just beautiful. Look at the old bicycle license. I remember when I was a kid, we used to have a license on our bicycles. They don't do that any longer. I think they went from the little license plates, and then from there they went to a sticker, and then after that there was no, I think 1978 I think was the last year that you had to have a license for your bicycle. So they no longer do that. So, and again, a lot more small tchotchke kind of stuff, and little embroidered or not embroidered, crocheted doily, and all kinds of little sweet items. So I like looking at the older vintage books too as well. Apparently the city of Edmonton actually has a book sale once a year, and quite often there's lots of vintage books that they liquidate in their book sale. So that might be an interesting thing to go and see one day. So, and again, here's a bunch of silverware, but alas, they did not have any really, really, really tiny spoons like what I was looking for. But I did look, so little bit of Lamage there, the little tiny settee, which is too small to be 1/24 scale, and it's porcelain. It's not really my shtick, but I think it's just way too common. You see it everywhere at garage sales and all over the place, and yeah, not really something that I'm too terribly interested in putting in my dollhouse. So, and again, some more vintage Christmas items. Those little houses were kind of cute. I could see decorating those up. And some little tin toys. Those are very sweet, although I think they're replicas. I don't think they're original. This guy had a bunch of coin collections, some large 1 cent pieces from Canada, 1903, I think, to 1907. So those were kind of cute. And a Johnny West doll. Aw, so sweet. And this guy here had some beautiful old vintage dinky toys and some cap guns, which are really cute. It's illegal to sell real firearms in a venue like this. It's very, very strict here in Canada to get a firearm. I love this hat. Absolutely look at that cuckoo clock. I would have bought this hat just to take the cuckoo clock off of it and mount it on a dollhouse wall. I actually, in fact, offered to buy just the pin, but he wanted to sell the entire hat, and I don't blame him. So it was all filled with like little pins that were from Germany. I guess that's the kind of hat that one would wear with their Lederhosen. So, and you can see there's little dollhouse teapot and sugar bowl, but that was more even larger than 1/6 scale, I would say, even larger than Barbie scale. So yeah, he had quite a few little items, and this was actually Barbie sized furniture. So that would have been definitely 1/6 size Barbie size furniture, and it's vintage definitely, and looked like it was in pretty good shape. And I like the blue glass bowls there. I think they're really pretty. And look, Kiss. How not vintage or not vintage or antique. So a little bit of mixture of everything all thrown in here. And some more vases and planters and a little bit of everything. So yeah, it was quite a lot of fun. Now I'm outside. They had some tents set up as well, so not everybody fit in this venue. So, so I'm just kind of going through the tents and looking at items through the tents, and it was much cooler outside, let me tell you, than it was inside the building. It was just absolutely crazy. Oh, there's a clock there at the bottom that looks just like the clock that I cut the face out of and made a dollhouse, a Christmas dollhouse inside. So yeah, so a bunch of medals and coins and old ties and just a little bit of everything. This booth, actually, the one that I'm showing you right here, this is my friend Gary's booth. And oh, look at that little thing. I don't know what character that is. It kind of looks like a Mickey Mouse, but it's definitely not Mickey. So yeah, so just tchotchke all over the place. So I think that it's a lot of fun I love those skeleton keys. I don't know what it is about skeleton keys that I find so appealing, but they're really neat. And then at the very end, on the other side of the building, there was a booth that was dedicated just to kind of antique and vintage furniture items or larger items. So, and it was funny because while I was there filming, right in front of me, somebody had left their wallet and their cell phone. So I picked it up and yelled for the person that worked there. Somebody left their wallet and cell phone here. And she rushed over and grabbed it and About 10 minutes later, the guy came back and said, I think I might have left my wallet and cell phone here. So it's a good thing that there's honest people out there that were able to rescue it for him. And look at this shelf. Like, Kevin, is that not just like the shelf that you just refinished? Yeah. I mean, look at the artwork on it. Looks just like the shelf that Kevin refinished. He found it at a boot sale. So, and again, bunch of larger items. I don't know what it is about church pews, but I think they're really cool. And look at those native items. And there's a few little miniatures amongst this little shelf as well. So I thought it was kind of cool. Yeah, and lots of coronation of Queen Elizabeth items. And yeah, a hall stand. Well, thank you very much for indulging me today and watching this video. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. It's free to do so. Hit that notification bell and then you'll know every time I upload a new video. I think I'm about 30 people away from reaching 3,000 subscribers. So tell your friends about my channel and let me reach 3,000 subscribers soon. Well, thanks again. And as always, everyone, have the best day ever.